During the Second World War, the United States fielded a wide range of bombers across both the Army Air Forces and the Navy and Marine Corps. These aircraft carried out strategic bombing, coastal patrol, anti-shipping strikes, and close support missions in every major theater of the war. This video presents every American bomber that served operationally during the conflict. We will begin with the U.S. Army Air Forces, starting with the heavy bombers that formed the core of America's long-range striking power. The Army Air Forces employed several categories of bombers during the war, each designed for a specific role. We will begin with the B-29 Flying Fortress. The B-29 Flying Fortress became one of the most iconic American bombers of the war. It was known for its ability to withstand heavy damage and still remain operational. The B-29 played a central role in the strategic bombing campaign over Europe, conducting high-altitude daylight raids against factories, rail systems, and military targets. Its defensive armament and stable performance made it a core aircraft in the early phases of the air offensive. B-24 Liberator. The B-24 Liberator was produced in greater numbers than any other American heavy bomber. It offered longer range and a higher top speed than the B-17, which allowed it to operate in theaters where extended missions were essential. The B-24 served in Europe, the Mediterranean, the Pacific, and the Atlantic, where it was a major asset in anti-submarine patrols. Its versatility and widespread deployment made it one of the most important American bombers of the conflict. B-29 Superfortress. The B-29 Superfortress was the most advanced American bomber to see combat during the war. It introduced pressurized crew compartments, remote-controlled defensive turrets, and a significantly longer operational range. The B-29 served exclusively in the Pacific Theater, where it carried out sustained strategic bombing against Japanese industry and infrastructure. It was also the aircraft used in the atomic bomb missions, making it one of the most historically significant bombers of the conflict. B-32 Dominator E. The B-32 Dominator was developed as an alternative to the B-29 and entered service late in the war. Although similar in payload and range, it used a more conventional defensive system rather than remote-controlled turrets. The B-32 flew only a limited number of combat missions during 1945, primarily in the Pacific. Its short operational history means it is less well known than other heavy bombers, but it remains part of the official wartime bomber lineup. B-25 Mitchell. The B-25 Mitchell was one of the most versatile medium bombers of the war. It gained early recognition through the Doolittle Raid, where modified B-25s launched from an aircraft carrier to strike Japan. The aircraft served in every major theater and filled a wide range of roles, including level bombing, low-altitude attack, anti-shipping operations, and ground support. Its reliable handling and adaptable design made it a dependable workhorse for the Army Air Forces. B-26 Marauder. The B-26 Marauder was a high-performance medium bomber known for its speed and efficiency. Early in its service, the aircraft developed a reputation for demanding takeoffs and landings, but training improvements allowed crews to use its capabilities effectively. In the European theater, the B-26 achieved one of the lowest loss rates of any American bomber. It excelled in tactical missions, striking bridges, airfields, and transportation hubs with precision. A-20 Havoc. The A-20 Havoc was a fast, agile light bomber used for low-altitude strikes, night missions, and close support roles. It served with American units as well as Allied forces through Lend-Lease. Its speed and maneuverability made it effective in both European and Pacific operations, where it carried out attacks on airfields, supply depots, and enemy troop positions. A-26 Invader. The A-26 Invader entered service late in the war and quickly proved to be one of the most capable attack bombers in the American inventory. It combined high speed with a strong forward-firing armament and could carry a substantial bomb load. The A-26 was effective in a variety of tactical roles, including ground attack and precision strikes, and it remained in service long after the war ended. A-29 Hudson. The A-29 Hudson began as an export aircraft for Allied nations, but soon entered American service in patrol and light bombing roles. It was used used primarily for coastal reconnaissance and anti-submarine missions, especially in the early years of the war. The Hudson provided valuable coverage during a period when dedicated patrol aircraft were still limited in number. A-31 and A-35 Vengeance. The A-31 and A-35 Vengeance were American-built dive bombers that saw only limited U.S. operational use. Although most were supplied to Allied nations, a number served with American units for training, coastal patrol, and target towing duties. Their presence in the inventory reflects the broad development of dive bomber concepts prior to the shift toward more versatile attack aircraft. With the Army Air Forces complete, we now turn to the bombers of the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps. These aircraft operated from carriers and coastal bases, focusing on maritime strike, patrol, and close support missions across the Pacific. SBD Dauntless. The SBD Dauntless was the Navy's primary dive bomber during the early years of the war. It earned a lasting reputation for accuracy and reliability, most notably at the Battle of Midway, where its attacks played a decisive role in sinking several Japanese carriers. The Dauntless remained in service through much of the conflict and proved effective in both offensive strikes and defensive patrol duties. SB2C Helldiver. The SB2C Helldiver was developed as the successor to the Dauntless. It offered a larger payload and greater range, making it better suited for late-war operations. Although early versions faced performance and handling challenges, improvements over time allowed the Helldiver to become the Navy's main carrier-based dive bomber for the latter stages of the Pacific Campaign TBD Devastator. The TBD Devastator was the Navy's standard torpedo bomber at the start of the war. By 1942, its slow speed and limited maneuverability made it vulnerable against modern enemy fighters. Its performance at the Battle of Midway highlighted these shortcomings, and the aircraft was quickly withdrawn from frontline service. Despite its limitations, the Devastator represents the early stage of American carrier aviation, TBF and TBM Avenger. The TBF and TBM Avenger replaced the Devastator and became one of the most successful torpedo bombers of the war. The Avenger carried a heavier payload, offered better protection for the crew, and had greater range. It served with both the Navy and Marine Corps and was used in a wide range of missions, including anti-submarine warfare, level bombing, and maritime strike operations. The Avenger remained in service long after the war ended. PBY Catalina. The PBY Catalina was one of the most widely used maritime patrol aircraft of the war. Its long range allowed it to conduct reconnaissance, anti-submarine patrols, and search and rescue missions across the vast distances of the Pacific. The Catalina also carried bombs and depth charges, enabling it to engage submarines and surface vessels when required. Its versatility made it a dependable asset throughout the conflict. PB4Y-1 and PB4Y-2 Privateer. The PB4Y series was the naval adaptation of the B-29 Liberator. The PB4Y-1 retained much of the original design, while the PB4Y-2 Privateer introduced a single tall vertical fin and structural changes to improve maritime performance. These aircraft conducted long-range patrols, anti-shipping strikes, and convoy escort duties. Their extended endurance made them well-suited to Pacific operations where distances between targets were significant. PV-1 Ventura and PV-2 Harpoon. The PV-1 Ventura and its improved variant, the PV-2 Harpoon, were medium patrol bombers used by the Navy for anti-submarine warfare, maritime strike missions, and convoy escort. Their speed and range made them effective in regions where long patrol circuits were required. Both aircraft contributed significantly to coastal defense and open ocean patrols during the later years of the war. PBJ-1 Mitchell. The PBJ-1 Mitchell was the Marine Corps adaptation of the B-25 bomber. It was used primarily in the Pacific for ground attack missions, anti-shipping strikes, and low-altitude assaults on fortified positions. Many PBJ-1s were equipped with rockets and additional forward-firing guns, making them well-suited for close support roles. The aircraft provided the Marine Corps with a versatile bomber capability throughout the final phases of the conflict. The bombers used by the United States during the Second World War represented a wide range of missions and technological developments. The Army Air Forces relied on heavy, medium, and light bombers to conduct strategic and tactical operations across Europe, Asia, and the Pacific. At the same time, the Navy and Marine Corps operated dive bombers, torpedo aircraft, and long-range patrol planes that were essential to maritime warfare. Each aircraft contributed to a specific requirement, whether striking industrial targets, supporting ground forces, protecting convoys, or conducting reconnaissance over open water. Together, they formed a comprehensive air capability that played a decisive role in the Allied victory.